Welcome back already to the Summit, powered by Twitch. We're here with our next game. Ben, it's been a long day. We got plenty more Dota action. We're in the home stretch. And when I say home stretch, I mean we still got 5 games. 4 games? 5 games? I don't know. We got games to go. Feeling good? Food's arrived, so we actually have people in the kitchen for once. They're showing up. But we're on casting duty. We got EG versus Vici Gaming. Vici Gaming's last game of today. I think Vici Gaming are more tired than any team here right now.
Yeah. Fnatic will be tired, super tired by the end of the day.
Yeah, by the end of today.
Match.
They had also started, they didn't start until, their first match was at like 2 p.m. though.
Yeah, they got here really early in the day. But Vici, EG coming off of a relatively tough loss.
Yeah.
Vici, they're looking decent.
Vici are, I believe, 2-1. We can take a look at the standings quickly if you guys want. Admins, producers got standings. Standings?
I don't know what they're saying.
No, Brian said he doesn't know. He just got here.
Has Vici played all their games today? If they're 2-1,
yeah,
they still have 2 more left.
Vici Gaming beat. They lost to DK.
They lost to DK.
Beat whoever else they versed. Yeah, sounds right. They're 2-1. We're gonna roll.
No, each team plays 5 games though.
They beat Navi.
So they can't be 2-1 if that's the last game.
They played 4 games on day 1 and then 1 game tomorrow.
Oh, it's the last game for today. I thought you meant last game for
so they
round robin.
beat Navi. They also beat, I believe, the NA Rejects or Navi. I think they beat both Navis. Sounds right. There we go. Settings. Wunderbar. So Vici Gaming Chinese top 2 right now. Although DK do have a loss. Fnatic the only team without a loss right now. So Fnatic they have a long day ahead of them, but in theory they could end the day first place.
In theory, yes, and the North Americans at the bottom, unfortunately. navi.usa number 5 at 0-2, EG 0-1, but they have a lot of games to make things up.
Yeah,
it's only 1 loss.
I believe we're in the draft. Is that correct? I don't know. Are we in the draft? Draft? Yes? No? Maybe? Yes. I don't know. Don't really know. But what are your thoughts? We got Vici Gaming, EG. I mean, it's EG coming off a tough loss, but it was to DK. No, sorry, it wasn't DK. What I'm talking about is to Navi. They lost to Navi when they had a lead, which kind of got thrown away. Do you think that's going to bother them, or is this going to be...
I don't think it'll bother them too much. If it were their second game and they were 0-2, I'd say so, but 0-1, they can still turn things around very, very quickly. So, Evil Geniuses, Bane, Nature's Prophet, Morphling.
Yep. Really early Bane pick. Like, I mean, first pick Bane. It doesn't get any earlier than that. That's a malt note.
Well, we didn't know whether it was... well, now we know that's very, very first pick, so that's...
It wasn't, no, it was Vici Gaming who first picked Invoker. So it was like first 2 picks, Bane, Prophet, but still. 0-4 day 1. We had our TZ here, and we basically said, dude, if you go undefeated today, we'll let you choose the music on our stream for a bit, and then they threw. So, goodbye our TZ playlist. That's not happening.
How do you feel about Invoker in 6.81p? Seen him a couple times.
I've seen him, yeah, once or twice, and he still seems pretty good. The Cold Snap is, I think, the biggest thing that took a hit, but it just gives you less solo killing potential. And even like dual lane killing potential. Like in the past, you could just like rotate one support, get a kill because of how much damage Cold Snap did, which I guess isn't the case. I think the hero is strong even with a Cold Snap nerf, though. Like, I mean, Forward Spirit's nerf was, yeah, it was.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's like not first pick every game material now anymore, though.
If you draft around him, like it looks like Vici Gaming. Vici Gaming are going for like some cheesy Invoker, Forward Spirit's Necrobook kind of put. Oh, well, okay, take that back. They're going Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage versus Morphling. Guys, we're behind schedule, and we're going to get even more behind schedule.
Yeah, I was not expecting this lineup from Vici. Anti-Mage traditionally does, I don't think, very well versus Morphling. Morphling just replicates Anti-Mage.
I think it's 50-50.
It's okay.
I think it's actually, I remember stats at some point it was like 50-50. Because Anti-Mage also mana burns Morphling, and Morphling's very mana dependent. So it kind of goes both ways. And Shadow Shaman can instantly hex the replicate if he's trying to make more Anti-Mage replicate.
That was also a very fast Anti-Mage pick from Vici. They probably expected something of this sort.
I thought Vici Gamer were just going to go like all-out push. Like Shadow Shaman, Enchantress, Exort, Invoker, that's ultra push. But, yeah.
And Enchantress also works pretty well versus Morphling. You can just steal the replicate in case he makes one.
Oh, yeah,
and they can push down very early. They might not even need Anti-Mage to end this game. Or, I mean, like, sorry, not to end this game. They don't need it to do significant damage to Evil Genius's base.
Yeah. It won't be like, it'll be like a 4 protect 1 where the 4 isn't actually protecting the 1. They're off, like, creating space by pushing towers, maybe. But Exort Invoker going to be mid, which is possibly a weakness in the Vici gaming lineup that can be exploited. Although, with that said, Wisp not the best ganking hero.
Yeah, not really. But Bane plus Wisp can definitely get some early kills. And if you look at EG's lineup, their counter push is terrible.
Yeah, that's where I was surprised Vici picked the Anti-Mage. Because they could just pushed.
They could have done like a Pugna push. They could have done a lot of things.
Anti-Mage X Morphling. It's pretty, 57%.
Pretty high.
Yeah, it's not bad.
All
There's
patches.
a lot of Anti-Mage versus Morphling games if you go back to TI2. That was where it was like countless. It was Anti-Mage, Morphling, and Lone Druid. Those were your 3 most picked carries because
there weren't that many carries in the game.
Lycan was the most popular one, but he was banned every game. So those 3 were the 3 that got through and didn't get banned out. Okay, he's 4-2. That's not many games in 6.81.
It says their push is like a 9 out of 10, which I think is all right.
He's a good pusher, though.
He's a good
that's the other thing.
split pusher.
Yeah. I think when we did those ratings, we rated him pretty high on push just because of his split pushing capabilities.
But they have to go through the Nature's Prophet, EO Relocate, and Global TP phase unscathed, which Anti-Mage will be able to, but will his supports, will Rasa be able to get a Blink Dagger, will Invoker be able to farm up, Midas 4-stat maybe, Midas Necro Book before he gets picked off a lot. I think that's the big question. And Vici, I mean, with the Anti-Mage on their side, though, they can't really 4-on-5 that effectively. I mean, into Ravage, into Relocate, they have to be very, very careful about overextending, and the risk is almost not worth it.
Well, EG last pick a Tidehunter. Normally you'd see like a Universe Darkseer, but they're going for Darkseer not the best against Anti-Mage, and they decide for Tidehunter instead.
I don't think Tidehunter fares that much better.
No.
You just banner burn him down and Anger Smash. He can't Anger Smash anymore.
Do you think there's a reason they they gone away from the Universe Darkseer?
I think it's just this particular game.
Okay.
That they didn't need to pick it. Maybe they wanted more global presence from Nature's Prophet. They actually, more likely than not, they wanted to deny Vici than Nature's Prophet.
That is a good-looking hexagon. That's
strong.
Gaming hexagon. Like, not even just... It's well-shaped. It's got some good body to it. Like, that's an actual legit hexagon. E.g., it's like inverted. Who knows what's going on? Who knows what's doing them? I don't know.
So where does Elder Titan fit in? I guess he's good versus Morphling, but he's okay counter-initiate versus Tidehunter, I suppose. But aside from that, I guess he's just mainly there for natural order.
I love all these Ichi nicknames they use. 04 Day 1, Dignitas Odie, GG Disband. Jesus. They're truly sad boys right now.
Bare Necessities and Chance. They look okay.
Yeah. So, wait, which one's Mason? Is he on the Tide? He's on the Tide, I think. Going maybe safe lane?
Is he?
I think he's tagged up as Dignitas OD. That's...
Well, Bare Necessities is Universe, and Universe is playing Nature's Prophet. That's for sure.
Okay.
Chance is PBD, and he's playing the Bane.
That means Mason's playing a Farming Tide. They're going to do a Farming Tide, I believe.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Mason generally doesn't play like actual carries in the safe lane farm. Like he plays safe lane farming Venomancer. Sometimes you do like a Mirana, which is closer to being a carry, but
why are they putting it in the safe lane farming role? They could have gotten away with a much greedier pick.
Well, I guess they didn't want you have a Morphling as your carry. You want like some team fight, but I don't know what else you get. What would you suggest instead of a Tide?
I mean, if they want team fight, they can go a hard carry that duels as team fight, like Gyrocopter, or like even Bloodseeker. They've been picking a decent amount. Like they can just rupture, relocate.
Who's the farming Sand King? That's what I want to see.
Farming Sand King.
Farming, it's like the same thing as Tide.
Farming Venomancer, I suppose they could do. Venomancer doesn't really do that well versus them, but
they should pick something that gave him something like good against anti-mage, be it some good lockdown. I don't know what that would be though. I guess they already have Prophet for the Hex. You've got Bane Fiend's Grip. Well, EG...
They could even done like a Drow, I suppose. Like Silence is useful.
Drow Aura for Morphling? I guess it's like maybe a bit too greedy with your carries.
Or even just a standard Tiny, or Tiny. Or anything to pair up with With Wisp, Ursa works okay. There's, I think, a lot of other options out there, but they will go with a Tidehunter. Maybe they are just getting really scared of getting pushed down in 5-man by Vici. Vici did have the last pick.
All right, well, we'll get ourselves into it. It's a best-of-1 format. EG yet to pick up a win. Vici Gaming 2-1 here at the Summit. For those of you just tuning in, you're tuning into the right place. The Summit LAN Finals taking place over 4 days. 6 of the coolest teams in the world have joined us here in LA, and it's tiring, but it's a lot of fun. At least day one's very tiring.
We have anti-fun, though.
Easy. This is... Hey, look. I'm not going to jump to conclusions about this game. I've seen Anti-Mage games just end in like 25 minutes because Anti-Mage just snowballed so fast and so hard that...
That's true.
You get Battle Fury at 12 minutes, you get your Manta Style at like 18 minutes, and then you get your next... either your Heart or your Butterfly at
so
like
why is he tagged up as Fear Arteezy? Is he like getting coached by him?
It's... You got to fear Arteezy, man. He's a scary man.
I guess so. He could have also done like the... Take off one of the ARs and just done like Fear Arteezy.
They've got Coach Fear here with them, so... I don't know. The Chinese teams obviously like having their coaches, and we had the DK coach on here. He was actually taking a lot of the blame for some of their losses, like they lost WPC, and he was taking some of the blame for that, saying like, look, it was largely my fault. So that was interesting to hear.
Are they allowed to coach there during the game?
No, during the game, coaches etc. are not allowed to be talking. Once the draft starts, there's no coaching. It's
so
like
how was it mostly his fault? He didn't prepare them well enough?
It was a best of 7, so he was allowed to talk to his team between each game.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess he just felt he didn't prepare them well enough and just didn't help them. Like, when they started to come back and they won Game 3, he was just like, yeah, I didn't quite help them get over that hump, he was saying, so... Yeah, it was kind of interesting.
Well, Fenrir already with the Tornado Creep messing with EG's dual lane in the mid lane, and Invoker seems to be A-okay.
So it's EG, dual lane top, dual lane mid, and safe lane solo Tidehunter. Interesting. Arteezy's the biggest, like, he just panders to the Twitch chat. He's so shameless about it.
What happened? What'd he say?
Just Kappa.
Oh.
No. Well, so Wisp Morphling, I like the Wisp Morphling, like, you just share the regen, you can harass, this puts a lot of pressure onto your Invoker. The offlane, though, Bane with the Nature's Prophet, so that's an interesting thought coming out from EG. What are they trying to do? Like,
they just don't want Enchantress to be able to just get free kills, and same with the Rasta. Like, Rasta would be able to zone her out with the help of the anti-mage, so they just want to ensure that Universe doesn't actually have to go to the jungle and actually make sure that Bane's doing something in the early game, forcing Vici to not play super greedy.
Alright, well, it gives Tide 1v1, and Tide 1v1 against Elder Titan, like, that's...
Any hero can 1v1 versus Elder Titan.
Yes. Well,
in Dire offlane, I think literally any hero.
I reckon I could come up with a matchup that I could win.
I mean, it's not that it's not like they're gonna lose the matchup that badly though. Like, if they lose, it's gonna be like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 CS difference in
Crystal Maiden.
10 minutes. Crystal Maiden can still live for some easy.
Crystal Maiden is actually.
I say Elder Titan's like the weakest offlaner that's actually played as an played.
Do you think it should be played like mid, or is it? Do you think
no. I think it's fine.
Okay.
The strengths of the hero make up for his weakness in lane, but it's really unusual to see people run a Dire offlane Elder Titan and not get punished for it.
Okay, yeah, it's often a hero that struggles, doesn't farm that much, but I feel like this is good getting him a 1v1 matchup. He doesn't care if he gets out-farmed. He just wants levels. He's going to have max Astral Spirit and Aura just in no time at all, and he can do so much in a fight, even if he's not the most farmed Elder Titan in the world. He'll have a mech, he'll have a Soul Ring, and he'll be a happy camper.
So we see some Enfeeble spam come out of Sylar, but his CS it's not that bad, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not ideal. But Anti-Mage just catch up. Like
he also went for 2 mana break too. That's a little unusual. Usually you'll see 1-1-1.
Gotta help last hit those range creeps, man. That extra damage.
Yeah, he has one level feedback's already enough.
Oh, here comes the gank though. They're gonna get PPD. He's completely out of mana there. Oh, that Centaur. He had the line to cut him off, but then he moved it up and completely messed it up.
So might die though.
Yes, and it's the Anti-Mage who gets the kill.
Oh, there goes the early Enfeeble harass. All of it is for naught right there.
Yeah. They had to chase pretty far and hard, take a lot of damage for it, but that Silo can get his boots, get his ring of health fairly soon.
It should have been a much cleaner kill, but just as you said, slight miss micro by the Centaur, and it will be a Quas Wex Invoker too. A little bit better versus Tidehunter, definitely better versus dual lane in mid, and I don't think he'll be at risk at dying with this build.
All right. So Mason, safe lane, Arcane Boots already up. He is top CS right now. All 3 EG heroes topping the CS charts, but it's early days. We haven't seen really the true laning stage really develop as far as rotations and any of the ultis even coming into play. It's Invoker going for a Quas Wex build. Especially with the weakened Cold Snap. This is interesting.
It's just so he won't die in mid.
You know, it's also the Anti-Mage Invoker. EMP,
yeah,
Mana Void.
But they don't really have any big mana pool targets. So like maybe Morphling later in the game, but he's likely not going to get hit by it.
No. It's still... heroes like just guarantee to have no mana, so you can start the fight with a Mana Void and get like a insta-kill maybe on someone. But it's pretty neat. I think I've seen Vici Gaming run it a couple of times before where they go this Anti-Mage Invoker combo, but like you say, not the best game. Prophet takes a lot of damage.
Yeah, if they had picked Darkseer, I think it would have been a much better game for it, but without it, it's...
I think that's probably why EG didn't pick it, just because of that combo.
Yes. I think it was smart for them to not do that. But I guess they already had an offlaner anyways, so...
Oh yeah, the Universe is playing the Nature's Prophet. So
I mean, I guess they could have done something different with like a Nature's Prophet solo middle or something like that, but still.
So Silo's got his boots, Ring of Health, TP out from PPD in the shop as he quickly realized he was in a lot of trouble. That wasn't even Enchantress ganking. Enchantress is still just off in the jungle, so...
Yeah, after dying once, I don't really know what he's doing back in the top lane. He can't put any pressure out on an anti-mage without risking his life in the process.
So Bane, it looks like, will head towards the mid lane. Silas caught back up pretty well on farm. He's at 22 CS.
And he has First Blood.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he's on 22 CS. It's really like 32. That First Blood just gives him so much money.
Invisibility.
I feel a lot of it is on like the supports for EG this game. I guess Whistle a little bit more so than the Bane to just try and shut down Vici, because I think Anti-Mage will be able to farm faster than the Morphling in this particular situation. He's going to have his Battle Fury.
Oh, no. Another kill. Oh, 3 HP. Silas going to go for another blink here, or possibly just going to walk him down. And, yeah, Anti-Mage. That base movement speed against a Nature's Prophet with phase boots? Okay.
Anti-Mage is good, man.
Yeah, that one of his strengths there, his high base movement speed. What can their Wisp I mean, you say Wisp needs to shut down heroes. What can like Wisp actually do this game? Like, he can stack neutral, but he's not like a roaming hero or ganking hero.
He can make plays. He can. He just needs to not get caught in EMP, get some good relocates out, throw Tide into fights to try and save some people. He's like the tempo controller for EG.
Okay.
Usually, don't think of a support as a tempo controller, but wherever he is, the fight's gonna be.
Alright, well. For now, it looks like EG gonna more. They leave the Bane top to try and get some levels there, but they put their Nature's Prophet in the jungle. So I think they quickly realized Universe is gonna need some farm. Has his phase boot, still has a bit of ways to go before he finishes his Midas, and we'll spend that time in the jungle to get it. So EG are playing a farming game. Like, we're looking at Midas Prophet, maybe even a Midas on your Morphling. He saved up 1k gold, so I think EG are just gonna go greedy late game Midases, and Vici Gaming are gonna look to try and pressure and win and fight earlier. Even that's funny to say because they've got an anti-mage, but I think they actually want to fight earlier when they have this anti-mage with a couple of items.
I think they just want to fight with Rasta Ward, similar to what DK did last game. Take down towers, take down Roshan, and if they really want to fight in that, they'll probably lose the fight unless we see a really farm Tidehunter with really good blink attack.
Sneaky smoke going to get revealed as Zai does tether his way out of there. Enchantress on the chase here, Zai. No boots on him, and one Enchantress slow could spell his demise there. It's actually a tether slow. Fenrir been caught up by that one, and they're going to change targets onto the Bane here.
Oh no, Arteezy's coming in from behind, as is.
Oh man, you got to get the hell out of this one. Vici Gaming are going to get surrounded here. They're pincered by the tower, but they're going to just take it up. Another TP coming in as well. Serpent Ward trap onto Mason. Great placement there from the Shadow Shaman. He's going to get that kill. May pay for it with his life there. He's going to get waveform down here, trying to get the Bane here. The Cold Snap with the Serpent Ward. Invoker will escape, and it's going to be a dead Bane here. Great fight from Vici Gaming. Those Serpent Wards are going to prevent their retreat from EG, perhaps. No, Arteezy says, I'll farm him up. That's some good old yummy gold. One-shots them all, so it's okay for EG in the end, but Vici Gaming made the best of that.
I think it's also smart for RTZ to not go Midas this game, just because I see at level 6 on Vici, they try and group up and put pressure on towers, take down towers very early, and they need to prevent that snowball effect from Vici.
So pretty much dead even on the Golden Experience, but Ravage used for Serpent Wards, so I mean that's also a pretty even exchange. Like Serpent Wards, you kind of want this early on to push towers, Ravage you need to team fight, so pretty much a dead even team fight really.
And what build is Super going for item-wise?
Nothing.
Unknown. He's really underfarmed in mid.
You can't really go Orchid because he's so underfarmed. May just be like a 4-staff game.
I guess, but I feel like he'll have... His window to shine is very, very low if he goes for 4-staff. Like EMP, Tornado is strong in the early game, but if he can't really rotate, if there aren't really good opportunities to set up that combo, it just seems like... I don't know. Maybe they would have done better off with a different solo mid if you're not going to play greedy. And,
okay.
Because they're not looking to win it in like 30, let's say, unless they get a fantastic start. But now that they don't have a fantastic start, they have to rely on a farm anti-mage, and anti-mage comes online maybe, 25 minutes if you're really farmed, like 35 to 40 most likely, and by that time, Quaswex Invoker, like, I guess he can stall aggression from EG, but at the same time, EG isn't known for ending games that fast, unless they would have already won anyways, but they don't 5-man that often, they don't go for 5-man items that often, and I think he could have gotten away with a far greedier build. I guess he would have maybe been shut down in lane a little bit harder had he gone for the more greedy build.
And they definitely don't want to 5-man against Elder Titan. I mean, Quaswex Invoker not fun either, so... This is not a game where EG can really fight Vici Gaming head-on, so... Vici Gaming will pressure the top tier 1 tower, and if Antimage gets this Battle Fury will suddenly be up in the first, like, 11-12 minutes of the game. And yeah, it's going down. Anti-Mage gets the last hit. Sylar. Perfection, as always, on the Anti-Mage. This guy just plays the scariest Anti-Mage. Like, I've seen him just go absolutely out of control. Like, even better than Burning, I'd say. But, I don't know. Anti-Mage is Anti-Mage. It's not the most complicated hero to play, but still, there's a bit of finesse involved.
Yep, and surprisingly, PBD has actually hit level 6. I don't really know how he did that. He seemed like he was in an off lane. He wasn't really able to manage any kills. He's died a couple of times, but still almost level 7 on him. That's very respectable.
He got left solo top. Like, Prophet went jungle and he was just leeching experience top. And Mason suddenly is going to have a Blink Dagger on the Tide, so...
Could be a mech. I think it'll be a Blink, though.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yep.
Okay. I mean, this is like a you want a team fight, but Prophet and Morphling are thinking kind of otherwise. Like they were going to.
I think they just want to snipe kills. They just want to get in and out with Morphling and Tidehunter, and then just back off. Don't fight unless Ravage is off cooldown.
Yep. And
you can find a good setup with Blink.
Right.
And if Vici really wants to overextend, then they can probably capitalize on that. But just looking to get really far.
They actually kill off Sylar here. That's gonna. Yeah, there's a Ravage. They'll actually blow everything just to get the kill in. It's sure as hell worth it, especially if they get FY here on the Shadow Shaman, and he's trapped, not going to use the Serpent Ward, so 2 kills go the way of EG. They instantly make great use of the Blink Ravage, as well as the Wisp Relocate, so talk about Wisp being a tempo control, and you see it there in action.
Yeah, great setup by PBD, though, with the grip.
Yeah, and Tiger and actually blink forward, finds RTK, and RTK, he's okay. There's an EMP actually to cover his tracks, as Zai is actually getting mana depleted here. But, yeah, PGG's it.
All they really need to do, though, is keep down AM. Like, they don't really need to worry about Invoker too much. He didn't go for a greedy build. He's not going to be effective past 30s, so just shut down Sylar, win game. That should be EG's game plan. Just blow Relocate, blow Fiend's Grip, blow Ravage, blow everything that they have, because they don't really need to save cooldowns for anybody else. And they may need some spells to control the Shadow Shaman in team fights, but Shadow Shaman, again, he's going to get his wards off usually.
With Quaswex Invoker, it is actually full 4 Protect 1 status. So, yeah, we'll see how Sylar does. That 1 kill on him slows down his Battle Fury by quite a bit here. As he's about, 150 away from it, so it's still going to be like a 12-13 minute Battle Fury, but that could have been even faster if not for that 1 death. And more towers going to go, well, get pressured. It's actually not looking like it's going to go down here. They spam up the wave a bit here. Nature's probably getting low here. There's EPD looking for initiation, gets hit by a Cold Snap EMP. Be so careful there, and the Tornado, oh! Close.
Vici's forced to take towers this early, though. Just because EG has better mobility, better late game. Vici, without tower advantage by 2025, they will lose this late game almost assuredly.
It's like 2 carries against 1, not to mention I feel EG just have the more useful late game supports. Fiend's Grip, Relocate, and Tide Ravage, so big ultis all around. And there's your Battle Fury, so Vici Gaming don't even get that mid tier 1 tower. That's a bit of a worry for them.
Yeah, only 1 tower down, and Ross has been level 6 for a while.
Looks like they'll get it this time around. Glyph actually getting used. As we'll see if EG can get this tonight here. They're going to rotate in the Morphling. Tide Ravage still on cooldown. Otherwise, they may have made a go on that one. And Enchantress gets the last hit. 10 seconds away, which is unfortunate for EG. Vici Gaming, I mean, that's one of those things which they probably knew that timing to like the very second. Because they were pushing, and if there's a Tide Blink Ravage, they just straight up die there. So they were probably well aware of the exact cooldown on it.
And Morphling going for BKB Rush, too. This is the older build. This is usually what the Asian teams do. Yeah. Typically with their Morphling instead of like a Midas, Linku slash main.
It's true, TI2. Morphlings rush BKB. Yeah.
BKB is really good versus Quas, Wex, Invoker, though.
Yes. It's going to just allow him to fight a lot earlier, and that's what the Tide Blink, early Blink kind of is there for as well, so it synergizes nicely. If Wisp wants to relocate him in, you're kind of like relocating right into the enemy team, which is where you need that survivability, because there's going to be like EMPs, AoE damage just waiting for you when you relocate in. Yeah, but for now, very even still. Vici Gaming with the slightest gold lead, just mostly coming from their towers, right, more than anything.
But now we have the mech to no mech advantage, so I think that Vici should definitely take advantage of this before that becomes irrelevant.
Yeah. Not to mention Elder Titans hit that like key level 10. Well, I guess level 9 more. Your key level has the max aura, has the max astral spirit. So heroes are going to become very squishy. You EMP them, you get their mana low, you put an astral spirit on them, and then suddenly mana void, they're dead. Nothing much to it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And RTK is going to make his way towards top lane to be in charge of tower defense for the time being. Needs some more rotation from his teammates. And for the time being, it looks like EG may just be getting this tower. With Tide coming up here, it looks like Vici Gaming have no intention to defend against the Blink Tide Ravage.
I feel like Vici shouldn't be losing towers either, especially one that controls their own jungle. This one is especially important for Anti-Mage. How's he really going to farm his own jungle safely?
Ooh, RTK's been caught out. Completely out of position there. PPD got him with a Fiend's Grip of all things, and like you, I think Vici Gaming could have defended it. They just had to bring the whole team. Bring the Invoker with some Tornado EMPs, have the Elder Titan there, and have Anti-Mage ready to TP in for when the fight breaks out, because Anti-Mage can just clean up, perhaps, in that fight.
Yeah, they just weren't in position to do so. I guess they didn't have Rasta Wards either, but that's not really a fantastic excuse for Vici losing that.
It ends up being a tier 1 for a tier 1.
Yeah,
but that's kind of lucky.
I mean, it's not as important for EG. That bottom tower isn't as important because they have better map control, they have better gank. So Vici, they really have to utilize their own jungle, whereas EG, now they're farming both.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Anti-Mage farming their opponents, but
that's actually a good point. That Anti-Mage can just farm. He doesn't really care. He farms whichever jungle he finds. We'll have to see what build Prophet goes for against the Anti-Mage. Sometimes you go for like an Orchid Rush, but this Anti-Mage is going to have a pretty fast Manta style, I imagine, to deal with anything like that.
Yeah, either SB Sheep or Necro. I don't think they really need a Necro though.
Enchantress just eats it, well, steals it. So not the best against Enchantress, unfortunately, but we'll see. 3k gold on Universe, so he hasn't decided or made any sort of commitment just yet. 5 kills to 4 here, 16 minutes in as EG had a loss in their first game. They need to find a way to bounce back here in their second match of the day, taking on Vici Gaming. There's plenty of tough matches here. I mean, every match is tough. Fnatic proved that against DK when, with their 16-year-old stand-in, they caused one of the biggest upset of the tournament that we've had so far, and I don't think you could really call a bigger one. So.
EG is going to be really strong, like in a minute or so. When Titanhunter gets his mech, Morphling just completed his BKB, and Anti-Mage still doesn't have his Manta style. That's a fantastic time to fight, and I think they can probably take at least two T1s and potentially even a bigger target like Roshan on the back of that. And if they kill Sylar, even better.
They've got all of their, at least, core items for now. Anti-Mage actually goes Lads, which is going to just allow him to push a bit faster. On the Dire side, you do have access to Roshan, but as far as fighting goes, you don't have that Manta style for the extra survivability as well as damage output. But yeah, here we go. Mech on Tide is flying out on the courier, so ROTK may just get caught and die here if he gets getting to sort of disable here, but that EMPX hits nicely on the Nature's Prophet, and with that, don't think EG want to dive too hard with Nature's Prophet so low already. Oh, they've got the sleep. Super. Waveform in. Mason's there, and there's a nice Serpent. He almost trapped his teammate, but the phase boots helps channel him out. The Serpent end up just being used to zone EG out, but they'll get farmed up by Arteezy, so easy. Like 250 gold from those.
That's really bad for Vici. I think they can probably
Space created. Silent. Oh, space created for him to get Fiend's Grip. There's Tide Ravage. Nope, Waveform. That's all they need. They actually get the kill there. That's huge.
Man, that's the second setup that PPD has had. The same setup. Fiend's Grip and a relocate. Fiend's Grip from the Fog too. His daytime.
He's such a smart support player. He knows like where to go, how to gank, and just those small little things. Like you look at that and just think, oh, I just TP'd in Fiend's Grip, but you have to TP to the exact right spot to make that one work. And also to coordinate with your team. He's like the captain and leader of the team. He called the Wisp and Morphling to relocate in as he cast Fiend's Grip. So great play from EG.
And Sailors die twice now, I believe.
Yeah.
And Morphling's still completely left unchecked.
Morphling's one of those heroes like you really need to not 2 deaths in 90 minutes is too many. Like he really needs to be like 1 death max in the first 20 minutes, I feel.
Unless there are other carries under farm, which he is not.
Alright. Well, EG ready to fight. They've still got this Tide Ravage, now level 11 on the Tide as well, so you don't want to fight into EG. Like, you look at
but when is Vici looking to fight? They just got the Vlads, so what are they trying to do? Just get Roshan and get super farmer in the late game? Like, I see Vici's lineup, and I'm like, okay, well, they should have taken towers a lot earlier. They have the Invoker, they have Enchantress, they have a lot of Serpent Ward, they've taken down 3 towers, a couple of them on the back of Anti-Mage, and after that, then what? Then what do they do with their lineup?
Well, they're going to seek a Roshan, or at least attempt to. We could see EG sniff this one out as they are nearby in the mid lane. This T1 tower protects Roshan pretty well, because you'll see EG making their way towards the pit. And Vici Gaming can fight off of the Aegis. It's going to be risky, but it's definitely possible.
Yeah, Medallion from the high ground from Fenrir, that will make it a little easier. Without that, I don't actually know it.
Oh, the Blink Ravage from Mason's nice, and there's your relocate in. Invoker's just dead from the get-go here, and Anti-Mage not really ready to fight here, but they killed the Nature's Prophet, so it's a 1-for-1 for now. Anti-Mage ready to make his way into this fight. He's below half HP, but with an Aegis on his side, no, he's not going to go for it. RTK pops a mech. Silas still on the high ground. He gets waveform through, and Fenrir, he suddenly finds himself in a bit of a precarious position here. The body blocks from Mason has a gash in 2 seconds, and that's going to slow Fenrir and possibly be another kill. No, they don't go for it. Shadow Shaman kills off the Wisp meanwhile. Solo kill with the Serpent Wards as Arteezy goes chasing. He wants revenge, but he's not going to find it. So in the end, Vici Gaming trade 2 for 2, and they get the Aegis. So not bad for Vici Gaming, even if they do lose 2 core heroes. Like, losing the Invoker is probably the toughest part about that fight for Vici.
Yeah, and still no kills yet on the Morphle. He hasn't even had to pop his BKB yet this game. He has 3,600 gold, and how is Sailor going to catch up to him? Yeah, he has the Aegis now, but he doesn't have really any good support. Like we just saw how easily Super died in that fight.
Yeah, if Morph can just pick up like an Ethereal Blade or something next, and he's just going to be instant. I think you want an Ethereal Blade against Enchantress because you can't really do too much right-click damage there.
Or Invoker, or
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much anybody but Anti-Mage, unless you can just straight kill him.
You have to be a bit careful. Like you don't want to Ethereal someone and then get mana voided for like bulk damage.
But who's gonna kill him? Like Mana Void, baby. That's
While you're in Ghost in Ethereal form, you can get mana voided.
That's about it, though. I don't even think that's that big of a threat.
Well, Morphling's still leading the Anti-Mage on farm, and then your 3rd and 4th is Nature's Prophet as well as Tidehunter. So EG looking pretty good here in this best of 1 series.
It looks like they were looking against Sailor, almost set up into another Fiend's Grip.
This isn't working. Arteezy, waveform out. Shadow Shaman had to lead with the... He did blink in looking for the Hex, but Arteezy was just not where he thought he was.
Yeah, I mean, they can just play it patiently, though. And they don't have to fight into the Aegis. Vici's still unable to put any pressure on with the Shadow Shaman at all. And Invoker has largely felt irrelevant. Yeah.
This is tough for Vici Gaming because they're playing towards a late game when they're already pretty damn tired. They started early. They were in the 8 AM match. It's not. I mean, it's only like 6, 7 PM now, but they also flew in last night to Los Angeles. So they're definitely the team who arrived most recently, and it's possibly I don't know about the most jet lag, but definitely very. I mean, all the teams have had in for some long days, but Vici Gaming, after this they're done for today. They'd love to end the day 3-1, but a loss here would leave them 2-2, and
So
here comes your Ethereal Blade.
Even bigger items coming from EG. Refresher soon to be completed on Tidehunter. Scythe of Vice completed on Nature's Prophet. Eevee, as you said, coming out soon on the Morphling in. Really, what does Vici have? Maybe like a 4-staff on Invoker by now. Manta Style soon on Anti-Mage, but that's small console. I guess he has the ulti.
Cooper's making his way. Yeah, it's not terrible, but it's still going to be a bit of time before you get the Hex. But I guess Vici Gaming is saying, let's go late game. Sure, our Anti-Mage is not going to outfarm the Morphling, but at least they'll both be farmed in the late game. Like, you'll have a 6-slotted Anti-Mage versus a 6-slotted Morphling if the game gets there. And it's looking like we may be heading that direction, unless this Morphling completely snowballs with this Ethereal Blade pickup and just gets kill after kill.
I don't know, Vici's playing pretty passively, not really giving any opportunities. Yeah, they have to.
Like, I think that's a good Serpent Ward's use there. Like, it doesn't get the tower, but like, what else is he going to use Serpent Wards for? He feeds some gold, but he gets good damage on the tower. Man. Yeah, he gets good damage on the tower and forces EG to rotate like 3-4 heroes. Like, EG suddenly have 3 heroes at the bottom lane, 1 in their own jungle and 1 towards mid lane. So they're not farming top, they're not pushing top out, they're actually missing out on some farm because of that play from FY.
I feel like EG's lineup has a lot of room to grow. If, let's say, Morphling and AM do get 6-slotted, I think that like a Refresher Tide with like a Shiva's or something like that.
Yeah.
BKB Bane, Nature's Prophet with Maelstrom, Daedalus.
Anti-Mage is ahead of the Morphling now. Not that I don't think EG should be worried drastically because of that, but it's maybe a sign of things to come.
Maybe so.
This EMP Tornado. Jesus, that's annoying. Ah, jeez, he's just... relocate out? Oh! Just barely.
He has BKB, so they can easily take this fight.
Oh
Tidehunter's on his way to blink in to if they want to.
Are Vici Gaming hanging around? No. They see the Morphling there and like, crap, we don't fight this. Elder Titan also goes for the TP. Don't get shotgun down, my friend. There's your Tide Ravage onto 3 heroes! Mech is going to cover Vici Gaming's ass a little bit here. RTK is just going to run. Replicate gets dealt with. Yeah, they actually seal with the Enchantress here. And actually, Arteezy comes to BKB. He's on the run here. Salad just trying to man-fight him, and they lose Arteezy. Vici Gaming makes something out of nothing. They get 2 kills. They're trying to look for more with the Tornado, but the TP out is successful from your Tidehunter, so... Wow. Well then.
There's nothing to really follow up the Ravage. It's a nice combo breaker, and it did significant amounts of damage in the early game, but we saw a shotgun into a Ravage, and Elder Titan still did that.
Yeah, the insta-mech, and he had like 50 HP. They needed to kill at least one. They could have gone for a squishy hero. I think they just wanted to get rid of the Elder Titan with the aura, but...
Their lineup's much stronger at getting pickoffs, though, not fighting 5-on-5s. They could easily just split push with Morphling and Wisp. If Vici wants the 5-man, then they keep split pushing and out farming, and if they...
Something on high ground.
Yeah.
What a disaster. There's a Manta Style arriving any second. Silas goes Manta Style in this courier. This tier 3 tower is... Yeah, it may not go down, but at the end of the day, there's some good damage here. Send those illusions, right-click that tower a bit more, and it may actually go down. With the Serpent Woods, no, Morphling shows up, he'll clean those up, but still, good damage being dealt. Vici Gaming will consider that a big success, and suddenly EG on the back foot. This is almost similar story to the Navi game. They started off so well, but then things just started to crumble a bit.
I feel like the BKB actually hasn't done anything for him. I think
I agree on that. Silent drop, he's okay. They didn't actually have any good lockdown for him. I'm not sure what the plan was there. Did Prophet have a Hex? Oh, he actually had a Hex, okay. That's... So they had the Hex and they thought they could maybe kill him with the Wisp Morphling and the shotgun, but not enough damage output.
Yeah, not enough damage coming out from Nature's Prophet either. So, yeah. Sylar has Leapfrog ahead of the Morphling, 2,300 gold over him. Vici still has pretty good Roshan control, too. Yeah. They have a much better Roshan lineup, and they can just sneak it in, as we saw with Anti-Mage blinking in with the Vlads. So, as long as they secure Roshans, I think they're in a pretty good position. I'm surprised EG lost that team fight so handily, considering how ahead they were in momentum. But that just shows you what they should not be doing, not 5-on-5ing.
Yeah. Oh, this is a dead PPD Bane. If he turns, he gets Hex, and he's going to be a Hex onto the Bane, shackled onto the Nature's Prophet, possibly 2 dead. There's your Mana Void. The chase is on. They want Universe as well. There's your Tide. He's going to show up as well. One more Blink. Nope, he pops a mech, and that's going to help Universe stay alive a bit longer. Blink into the Sprout. Not going to happen. Actually, yes, it will happen. Universe goes down with help of the Shadow Shaman, and two EG heroes on the sidelines, possibly a tier 2 tower top being taken. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they show up here. They want to deal with that Teasy. He's been slept up by the stun from the Elder Titan. Chases on. There is a Wisp relocate out. He gets thrown up nearby Tornado. Tether. Impetus going to follow him far and hard. Deafening Blast actually off the mark there. Zai going to go a different direction here. Basically say, Teasy, you run away. I got a Tether in 3 seconds to help try and cover me and get me out of here. Looks like Zai is going to be okay in the end as well as Teasy. So they get out of there, but the top fight was just disaster, and there's a tier 2 tower as well. Vici Gaming suddenly winning this game.
Sailor's getting ridiculously fat too.
Yeah, what was once a small, it was only ever a small EG lead, but as far as actual control over the game, having the dual core, having such a good team fight, that was just a bit of a surprising turn of events. That's, I guess, that's anti-mage Dota for you.
Yeah, Tyler's getting farmed. How is he on his refresher status? I feel like they really need that to win a 5-on-5.
He's almost got it.
Yeah, 200 gold on that, and I don't think it'll come out before next Roshan, but if it does, then Vici could be in a lot of trouble.
Just, oh, it actually will. He's only 150-ish away from it, so he's good to go, assuming his team just give him that farm. This Morphling slowed down a lot. Like, BKB, Ethereal Blade, just hasn't farmed much since then, and, I mean, you said it, the BKB hasn't done that much. I think a couple big items on EG haven't done much. The BKB on Morphling, and also the Hex on the Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet rushed the Hex, and
yeah,
we haven't seen Hex secure.
You can't get a clean
kills.
initiate though without Shadow Blade. That's why you almost always see Shadow Blade, Scythe of Ice, and you also don't have any damage. You have the disable, but you don't have the right click to follow up.
Yeah, not going for like a Mjolnir or an Orchid or something. Yeah, I mean, I can understand why he wants a Hex, but yeah, does do no damage. He goes back for a Maelstrom now, so gets some damage as we transition towards the late game, which is much needed at this stage. And you know he's going to have to keep pushing out lanes because of the anti-mage split push, so having Maelstrom is going to help him out there.
Well, that's a refresher tide. Dealing with double Ravage, maybe a little bit tougher. Vici is anti-mage picking up a heart. That's
maybe a BKB to deal with Ravage, though. We'll see.
I don't think he needs it, though. They don't have that much physical damage because Morphling actually isn't that farmed.
Yeah. Heart just gives him, I guess, Roy to be to survive the whole combo.
Yeah. I think it's better, too, because he has to worry about potentially getting sheep, too, to initiate.
And Fiend's Grip, so the Hex is not really a full solution. Top lane, they've gone in Arteezy again. The Echo Stomp is there, going to get him really low. Arteezy gets blown up.
Elder Titan versus Morphling.
Aura, man. That natural aura is just redonkulous. And elsewhere, Nature's Prophet gets solo killed by a Shadow Shaman? Oh, man. EG just falling apart here.
Yeah, generally you see Morph like this high on net worth into the game without that much lockdown from Vici, like close to invulnerable, but he died in what, like 2 Impetai?
No.
3 Impetai?
Is that the Imperial Impetus?
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Impetuses?
No, I think you're right. Impetu? No.
And also the Wisp hasn't felt effective either. I kind of view it as the same thing as the Navi US versus DK game. It's like you can pick Wisp, and Wisp Morphling generally very effective, but you can't keep the Morphling alive. Overcharge isn't gonna help when they're hitting for a third of your HP every hit.
He killed helped kill the Anti-Mage twice, which is, I mean, that's all he's done this game. That's the value of this. With that said, it was also only because of the Bane. Like, you could have done that with Bane and then just TP in with someone else after the Fiend Script, so yeah, I don't know. I think EG, if they were ahead, but a few small, like these just small things, like the BKB not doing too much, the Hex on the Prophet, the Wisp in general, like just hasn't really had openings. And Vici Gaming, just through smart play and just playing it safe and being patient, have found themselves ahead with a Heart of Tarrasque on Anti-Mage now, and Aegis as well to join it. He's suddenly looking pretty invincible.
Yes, indeed. And does EG actually have this late game? I actually thought that EG would easily have it in the late game.
At this stage, I mean, if Anti-Mage and Morphling had the same amount of farm, probably EG a little
They were
good.
equal for such a long amount of time.
Suddenly that's changed. And changed drastically. Morphling had like a 24-minute Ethereal Blade BKB, maybe 25. And now he's just got an Ultimate Orb at 32 minutes on top of that. He has not farmed anything at all. Whereas Anti-Mage, he farmed like most of his Manta apart from the Yasha, as well as
he farmed heroes, he farmed creeps, he farmed Roshan.
Yeah.
And Morphling really only farmed creeps.
Oh, they found RTK here. This is a nice little gank here. That's a useful pick-off. This is what I think EG just have to keep on doing at this stage almost.
Yeah, they shouldn't force 5-mans. They should just look for weaknesses in Vici's positioning, look for one hero's...
What are you going to do about that? That's a gem? Oh my gosh.
He had a 1 in 3 chance
He
of sleeping the right target.
Then the anti-mage can just toggle it off him though.
Yeah.
Toggle it off and then mana void.
Well, what at the same time, what's he
FTW.
supposed to do? Just sit in his base and just let Morphling farm? It's a difficult place for PPD.
Radiant's top tower
Who else is going to carry the gem and D ward? There's no real good options. Prophet's in the same boat. You just get jumped. Tidehunter maybe, but he's a melee hero. And then Morphling, well, he doesn't want to be D-warding. He wants to be farming and pushing out lanes. So yeah, I think it's one of those deaths which you look at and think, well, he just threw away gem. It doesn't look good, but someone's got to move out of the map and help get map control. So Arteezy now, still just seeing on this ultimate orb, he's slowed down just so much right now.
What does he even get?
Invisibility.
Scotty won't help him that much.
Is it a Lincoln's or a Manta style, do you think?
Lincoln's, I don't really think helps him that much either.
Manta, the illusions can be enchanted, but not the end of the world if they are.
Yeah, I'm just worried about him dying from right clicks plus Elder Titan at this point in the game.
It's going to be a Scotty.
Yeah. Scotty's nice. I'll give him a nice HP buffer. That's decent versus anti-mage, I suppose, but gives him a really large mana pool. Could be a very huge mana void coming out from Sylar.
And here we go, high ground sieging time. Serpent Wards plus anti-mage with Hardened Aegis. What do you do? EG just kind of out of options almost.
They have double Ravage, so if the Vici supports get like a days go by their positioning, they can pick everyone else off and then maybe like grip him plus something.
Anti-mage on the front and then Elder Titan like a little bit further behind spamming his Astral Spirit. That's the game plan. Anti-mage has a butterfly! It hasn't even arrived yet, but when this does, EG just going to lose. I think bottom Raxes are done for. He drops the Vlads and we'll pick up the butterfly. So no Vlads for now. Maybe see Elder Titan or someone pick one up instead.
How long left on his Aegis?
He's still got like 3 minutes, I want to say.
That's really bad for them. If they just botch one fight, they lose the game right here.
You're getting at least one save. They're going for the smoke wrap run. They want to catch up the backline, the supports, find the Shadow Shaman, find the Enchantress, the Invoker. There's your first Blink Ravage. Catches out just one, but two actually. Actually, make it 3. Invoker gets caught as well. That's actually not a bad initiation coming out from EG. Antimate's just got to go big, and he's in the middle of things here as he's trying to do as much damage as possible. Tidehunter on the run after having used his Ravages. Morphling waveforms through, gets the kill on the Invoker, and then there's your Antimage. Finds Arteezy, gets Nightmare up though. Someone wake him up. RTK is there to the rescue. Get those Raxes. There we go, Anti-Mage. Get them Raxes.
It's not bad at all. It's double Ravage for only Invoker and Enchantress.
Yeah, sure.
And if he had Astral Spirit on Morphling, he would have died there after the Anti-Mage. Like, he just does so much damage to Morphling when Astral Spirit or Natural Order's on him. Oh my goodness.
This Nightmare's annoying for Sylar, but yeah, end of the day, he knows they can't kill him. He thinks his way towards mid lane, and once his teammates come back, when Serpent Wards is online, they do the same thing either mid or top lane. And there's an Accept of Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman Ag's like almost doubles your damage output with those Serpent Wards. It's pretty crazy good.
Poor PBD, so under level. He probably won't finish BKB by the time this game's over.
No more gem as well. Oh, who actually has the gem? Was it maintained by Vici? Mid lane. We're going to see RTK get jumped and burst down by the Morphling here, but they lose Wisp for that, and Arteezy suddenly isolated. The Manta Sylar is going to be the end of him. That's an easy double kill for Sylar. Slams it home, and suddenly Vici Gaming going to march their way down mid lane. Are there buybacks for your Morphling? That's really the only way.
Yeah, he didn't buy a Scotty.
Okay.
Oh, he did?
He's short. He's 20 gold short.
Okay.
It's about 10 seconds away. He's getting gold at
but at the same time,
rate.
even if you do, you're still fighting into anti-mage with Aegis.
That 5 seconds where he can't buy back is this tier 3 tower dead too. He's got to buy back instantly, and he does do so. But you've already lost this tier 3 tower. Serpent Ward's going to show up fairly soon.
They shouldn't even have Refresher Ravage up.
Tide doesn't even have a single Ravage.
Yeah.
He's going to lose all his mana. He can't really fight. He's almost got to go back to base and heal. They get the Enchantress blown up by a shotgun here. Serpent Ward's going to surround Arteezy. Not actually on the Raxus here. I think they just want to get the Raxus with that. But Sylar, he can deal with the Raxus here. Goes in on Mason. Mason completely mana depleted. He can't do anything on the Tide. 15 seconds until one Ravage and almost double Ravage, but Sila's just going ham. He cannot be dealt with.
Arteezy's died again. He got right-clicked down.
Aegis, 5 seconds. Oh, they
He
GG.
got right-clicked down by Elder Titan.
Oh
Like it wasn't
God.
even Siler on him.
Yeah, Silo just died with half a second left on his Aegis. That would have actually been his Aegis.
Well, I've seen a couple of games of Elder Titan versus Morphling, and every time I think, oh, okay, Morphling's farmed enough to deal with this, and he just gets right-clicked down in like 3 hits.
By the Elder Titan himself.
Yeah, I mean, that was just absurd. I thought Vici was going to fight really underhanded when it got, but I drastically underestimated after order. And
Emo boys, they're in the dark. They've gone. I don't know what happened there, but.
Whew, ouch. That's a rough loss. Now EG 0 and 2.
Yeah,
and
unexpected.
Unexpected. These are.
It is Mason's first LAN with the team, so that does somewhat contribute to that. They played at Starladder with Eternal Envy. So Mason pretty. I don't think Mason played bad though. I think
it was somewhat of a drafting thing. Like why Tidehunter over another one? They didn't have any follow up. I saw that one fight on bottom. That bottom T1 tower. I think that changed a lot.
Yep.
He had his EB. He had his BKB on Morphling. He went in. He shotgunned. They didn't get any kills. They blew a Blink Ravage, and then he died in return as well. So it was a 2 for 0 after using their big cooldowns, and that was the big game changer. They're like, okay, wait, we can't actually 5-on-5 anymore. We can't pick anyone off with our burst. And then what do? We wait for anti-mage to get huge and wreck us? Well, that's kind of the only option left of them.
Well, suddenly EG are 0 and 2. Vici Gaming are done for today, and they're going to be so happy because they're 3 and 1. They're tied top of the tables with DK. Those two teams 3 and 1, and considering this is day 1 and they just flown in last night, that's a pretty good result, I got to say.
Yeah. So EG and navi.usa both sitting 0 and 2.
Yes, both those two teams have 2 matches remaining, including matches against each other. Fnatic with 3 matches remaining, I believe. So
4, I think.
4.
They're 1 and 0.
Well, 3 matches. I'm talking about today.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, 3 matches remaining today. So DK and Vici are done. I think we have Navi versus Fnatic up next. That's Navi's last match for today, and then we get into the last 3 matches, which is Fnatic, Navi, US, and EG all playing each other in the last 3 matches. So 4 matches left for today, guys. The summit is well and truly underway. Big thanks to our sponsor Twitch, of course, as well as other sponsors 100TB, as well as, of course, our last minute PC sponsor, iBuyPower, who provided us the PCs for the event. So big thanks to you. You can actually get a discount code on the iBuyPower PCs if you want to get a 5% off PCs over $1,300. Use the coupon code BTS5 if you want to do that, guys. But we're done for now.
Thanks to all the viewers. Thanks to all the people who bought the ticket.
Thanks.
Yeah. Don't forget them.
Hashtag sellouts. Yeah, this is our sellout. This is our sellout period. What else do we need to sell out on? Buy the Dota TV ticket. $2.50 goes to the prize pool. Subscribe to the BTS stream.
Thanks, Mott, for obsing.
Yep. Shout out to Mott Dota 2 for Mott
Thanks,
Dota 2's last
K-pop,
minute
for
coming
producing.
in. Yep.
Thanks,
At
LD, for
K-pop
setting up. Okay.
Thanks, everyone else. We're done. Sell out, boys. See you soon.